All right. Morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Market Trading. I'm your host, Tone Vays. I got the green screen up. Seems to be working. All right. All right. Morning, everyone. Right. Man. All right. Let's go to the charts. I didn't do a video yesterday, but I was interviewed yesterday for like 2 hours on YouTube. So it was a real deep dive into our conversation. And we talked a lot about economics and Bitcoin and the markets. So I strongly recommend it. It's not in the video description. I'm gonna pull it up. It's on my Twitter. Let me just go to screen share. I'm just gonna open up my Twitter. Again, always dangerous if DMs show up, which they're not, I hope. Profile. Right there, that's the YouTube channel, becausebitcoin.com. And this was the live stream. So check it out. I actually had no idea it was going to be a 2-hour interview. So because it was a 2-hour interview, we got to start somewhere over there. Because it was a 2-hour interview. Here we go. We got to really dive deep into the discussions of a bunch of stuff. So watch it on 2x. I talk slow. It was really, really good. So go ahead and check that out. Cool. How many viewers has it had already? Not many, only 300. But Tone and Bitcoin Maxis repeatedly failed to competently explain why countries would give up their fiat Bitcoin. Their fiat for Bitcoin. I did explain that it's not likely to happen. This person clearly didn't listen to the interview. I explained that this is a very, very rare case. What El Salvador did is rare, and I explained why El Salvador did it in that video. So the person clearly didn't listen. It wasn't a 15-minute montage to evade the question. It was a 15-minute montage to answer the question that they likely wouldn't do it. So the answer to that question, why would governments, the person clearly didn't listen. Why would governments give up give up fiat currency for Bitcoin? And my answer was that there are 180 countries on this planet. And occasionally, once every 50 years, one of these countries happens to elect a leader that cares more about the people of their country than the corruption for the leader. This is very, very rare and almost impossible. And Bukele happens to be one of these people. Like, not even Trump is one of these people, right? Like Trump cares about Americans more than he cares about the global collective of the World Economic Forum's agenda. But he doesn't care enough about the people of the United States to give them freedom and let them be in control of their own money. Like, Trump's not there. I don't think RFK is either, right? But every once in a while, a country elects a leader that does that, and that was my answer. So no, I don't expect the world leaders to give up their power and their quest for power to allow people to use Bitcoin. It'll happen in one of two ways. Like I said, in very rare instances, a person does get elected that cares more about freedom of their people. Most don't. Like, it's most of them, it's like 5 steps deeper, right? So this is why the reason why this goes back to, why am I a Trump fan? Why do I support Trump? The reason I support Trump is because Trump cares about Americans more than he cares about the collective, which is the World Economic Forum's agenda. Obama cares about the collective more. Even Bush cares about the collective more because they are bred that people are stupid and they need to control the people, and they need a one world government, right? Even George W. Bush talked about the one world government. So most leaders that get elected They get I mean, they're in that position because they're part of this club, like George Carlin put it. You're not part of the club. So 90% of the leaders that get elected are part of the collective socialist, Marxist, communist club. And they care about the collective more than they care about the people of their own country. Like if you look at Europe, for example, in Europe, there is maybe one president, one in all of Europe, maybe two, that care about their own people above the collective, right? It's Orban, who the entire European Union hates, and maybe the president of Serbia. That's it. That's the list in all of Europe. New World Order, exactly. That's the list in Europe, right? Every president of Europe cares about the collective. Macron is suddenly pretending that he cares about what the French people think, but he doesn't. Like the UK doesn't give a shit what the Brits think because they're not going through with Brexit, right? They're like wishy-washy on the whole thing, and it's just a giant disaster. They're making it into a bigger disaster than it really should have been. So, I mean, Trudeau doesn't give a shit about Canadians. Like, he only cares about the global collective. So 90% of the presidents that get elected care about the collective more than the people of their own country. They pretend that they do, but they don't. And they all care about themselves and their families more than anything else, right? Like that's number one. But the number two is the collective, that beehive mentality, the ant mentality, that people aren't individuals. And then you have that 10% of the people, like an Orban, that actually cares about his own people. Putin is in that category also. Putin doesn't give a shit about the global collective. Putin only cares about Russians. And that's what makes Putin so dangerous to the rest of global leaders. For the same reason why Trump is so dangerous to the global leaders. He's in that 10% of global leaders, maybe even less than 10%, whose number one priority after himself, right, after himself and his family, his next priority is Russian people. It's not the global collective. He's not part of the club. Xi is also, like in China. China, they care about the Chinese. That's it. That's the list. That's why he's also super dangerous. Same thing with some of the Arab countries. They care about what happens to the Arabs. To the people, the Saudis care about the Saudis, right? There's a small group of Saudis, right? Small group of Emiratis. They care about themselves. They care about their people more than they give a shit about the global collective. That's why the world doesn't really like these people. And they're not exactly trying to get everyone else to be like them. They're really not their goal. But in other countries, they care a lot about getting everybody else to be like them. And then, like I said, you have that 10%, which is guys like Trump, guys like Putin, guys like Orban, that the rest of the 90% of the politicians just don't like. And then you have that select class of 0.1% politicians that care about their people so much, they're willing to do stuff that takes away power from them, that gives their people more freedom. Now, Bukele happens to be one of these people. How he is still in power and how he is still alive is an actual miracle, because normally these people do not last in power for very long because the global collective takes them out of the game completely. So that is the answer to the question. And the answer is absolutely not. Politicians will not give up their fiat control for Bitcoin. In fact, I am very skeptical on this gold-backed BRICS currency because these countries are not going to want to give up their control of their country's currencies. I mean, the Europeans gave up control of their country's currencies for the creation of the euro because they don't care about their people. They care about the collective. This is why the European currency exists. Now, I will say the European currency is better. I like the efficiency of a single currency, but it doesn't, but the way it's run is a disaster. So